please.
Can I ask a question in regards to 10 tribes?
Yes, please. That's good. Yes.
So, is it any relevant to know about, I don't know, if the person has certain connection, like some DNA connection with the tribes or anything like that, this day and age? Like, is it any, does it have like any importance at all?
No. So the only thing, I mean, first of DNA connection proves exactly zero. It could come from a mother's side or from a father's side. Like I have some people that they try to prove me, like, and I'm trying to calm them down. I'm not against anybody, if, but some people they cannot prove their Judaism. So especially in some countries, right, that we're working with, and there is no documents because of the war, especially in Europe. They were relocated from like moved around, and they were running for their lives, and many were in concentration camps. So they come back and they trying to pretend not to be Jewish because they had enough with Judaism. So many people, like at least I had the early class today. We have that class. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 people. So they told me they're Jews, but and based on whatever the story they told me, most likely that they're Jews, but there is no like proof. So nobody is going to accept them as Jews. You understand? So they have to go through conversion. But I mean that's what they're doing. But it's very unfortunate situation. But the only thing we care about Kohanim and Levites. And even Kohanim and Levites is whatever, but Kohanim, look, if he married, not this guy, but his great grandfather, who was a little going off the derech at his time, right? So if he would marry somebody that he was not allowed to marry, divorcee or some or convert, I don't know, some other lady that he's not allowed to marry. So all of his children considered to be halalim, like halal. I think halal is good. Halal is okay. Halalim meaning they're not Kohanim. So the boy is he's Moshe Cohen, but and his father is a Cohen, but this little Moshe is not Cohen. You understand? Because the father married somebody forbidden. So today, like a few generations later, or 1 generation later, so father did not tell him of this. Moshe did not know about these rules that he, like, nobody told him. They all were secular, and he comes to the shul and say, "Of course I'm Cohen. What are you talking about? Is it any way for us to check? Do we bother to check? No, we're not going to bother to check." He said he's Cohen. He's Cohen, but the problem the problem to prove and to verify that he's Cohen is upon himself. I'm not obligated to check every person who said that he's Cohen. He's Cohen. I mean, he said. You understand? So I mean, especially where we live, like people move around from different countries, different communities. In my shul, not big shul, there are of course there are descendants of the immigrants. So they in the first generation, second generation. So their parents came from different countries. Some of them from the first generation. So I once count approximately. Of course, I didn't ask anybody. I don't talk to anybody. But people speak out very, very loudly where their ancestries came from. So I think like more than 10 countries. You understand? More than maybe 11 or 12 different countries. Their backgrounds. Very interesting. So basically nobody's going to check anybody. Nobody. So he said he's Cohen, but it's obligation on him. But if he's not Cohen and he gets and blesses the people, that's big issue, right? I'm not sure what's the punishment for this guy if he blesses the people or he takes in first aliyah. Of course, he did not know, but is he 100% innocent? I don't think so. You understand? So he had to do investigation at least 3 generations, or at least 2 or 3 generations above, like what exactly they married and how exactly they married and things like that. Okay, at least you have a grandma. You have to ask grandma. Okay, that's the thing. So we not care, and this DNA, and another guy, he's like has this Iranian last name, and he's in the area where Jews from Iran like went to like what is this what is it Central Asia, right, from one of these countries. So and he lived in a place where most of the Jews from this culture lived. So but they had all the papers, and this poor family, his family tried to dissolve like the Judaism, so he got stuck with nothing, even though he's thinking he's a Jew, and I also think that he's a Jew, but what can he do? Has to go through the conversion. Understand? So but he told me that he did DNA test, and he's Jewish from this region, from that. I'm not sure how they know, but from this city in Iran. Okay, I said, please, I don't have time. So you want to prove me? I believe you. I don't have anything against you, right? You want to say you're Jew, but I mean halachically not. So when we cannot prove, so we require conversion. It's not like my rules. You understand? So. Okay, so what else? Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Rabbi. No, I just asked this because, especially here in South America, there's a lot of like, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's like a few rabbis, like influential people that are kind of try to make people believe that they are direct descendants of the 10 tribes. But I think this is extremely misleading.
Yes.
Like, people just get lost into this information. I mean, it's a cool topic. It's like interesting, but besides that, it's like very misleading. People just lose the track of what real Judaism is. So yeah, it's very unfortunate actually what's happening here in especially here in South America. I don't know other parts of the world.
I think it's a commercial topic. They can make a lot of money from that. Yeah. You understand? So there is like some Jewish channels. They actually charge money. They commercialize. So every time somebody he hears this story or like a clip, watches the clip, they get in money. So for these lost 10 tribes in your area, right? Maybe you one of them. So of course everybody wants to hear, and maybe twice and 7 times. And every time he gives little details bit by bit. So he makes a fortune of money. Baruch Hashem. Understand? But again, there is no way to prove unless they continue like traditions. Not that tradition means Shabbos observance, and they are talis, and they have tefillin, and they have books. But even though we survived the war, so I have books from my great grandfather. How do I know? So that there is a like put inside, like in a siddur, they have a blessing from the Tsar, from like in Russia. You understand? So I looked up when he lived. So it's like from 18th century. Oh no, 19th century, the beginning of the 19th century. So that's how old the siddur is. Of course, it is ripped apart. You cannot use it. It's very, very ancient. But that's from my father's line. You understand? So and it's in German, so I know where we came from. But other people don't have that. So it's very unfortunate. Okay. What else? Any other question? Okay. So, but anyway, there is a way to fix it, and we don't have to be depressed. And I always try to calm these people. Look, I said, if you would like stop just complaining, if you stop going through all of these DNA tests, if you just save this money, just continue learning material, go through the procedure, 1 to 3, maybe a year, maybe 2. It doesn't matter. You can absorb these mitzvahs. If you're Jew, is going to be counted 100% if you observing that. If you're not Jew, it's a training, so you're going to get a reward anyway. So why are you complaining? Just go, like, don't try to go against the current. Anyway, you're not going to win. Like some people, I went with my mother to one city office, And some people, like, it's a clerk, they're stubborn. You're not going to tell them what to do. You understand? So you be nice to them. You say thank you 100 times, and then only then they can help you. Some people they start yelling, cursing them. Guess you think it's going to help? It's not going to help. Just go with the system. That's it. Be stubborn in your Torah studies. If you want to be stubborn in Torah studies. That's our approach. All right.